Hi, I'm Jack Carter. I'm the Automotive Brand Partnerships Lead in the UK.
I'm Josh Bruttiger, Brand Strategy Lead for DECH. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in for our automotive download session today. Today, Jack and I will be talking you through the automotive opportunity on TikTok. We'll look into the TikTok community, and then finally we'll look at what success looks like for automotive brands and dig into some of the best practice involved in achieving that. And so to kick things off, first, it's really important to establish the role that TikTok plays in the lives of our community. We're an entertainment platform built on democratized discovery and creativity. And over the past couple of years, we've really built a reputation of challenging norms across multiple industries, whether that's sparking viral trends that lead to products selling out across retailers or breaking the next generation of superstars in the entertainment space. And all of this speaks to the power of TikTok and the impact that we're having on the wider cultural ecosystem.
And we know the automotive industry has embraced a huge amount of change over the last 12 months. But alongside that, it's really embraced TikTok in a significant way. Automotive brands from both a paid and organic perspective have come onto TikTok, and they're excited by the opportunity that the platform presents. And that is the main thing, the excitement and the opportunity that TikTok as a new platform offers them as an automotive brand. And one of the main reasons that it is becoming so popular as a platform, particularly for OEMs, is because of the sound on environment. As soon as you open up the app, it's sound on. So it's an immersive and engaging experience. And we know sound is so important for OEMs and automotive brands, whether it's the song or the track that you use in your advertising campaign, or the sound of the engine, or potentially lack thereof when it comes to EV. Sound has always played an important part for automotive brands. And I have two videos here to demonstrate exactly that, the importance of sound on TikTok. One is the absence of sound, and one is full throttle sound on. It's very exciting as a video. The visuals evoke something. It feels high octane, absolutely. But there does feel like there's something missing. And when you add the sound, sonic cues to it, it takes it up another layer entirely. And you can see exactly from that why TikTok is a one-screen experience, sound on, fully immersive, and why so many OEMs are getting excited by it as a platform.
And so another really important call out to make is that TikTok is a content graph rather than a social graph. And that means that auto enthusiasts don't necessarily need a large following to be shaping car culture and telling their stories to the masses. And we're seeing that play out in this video here, where one of our creators, Antonio, who has about 4,000 followers, posted this video that racked up 7.4 million views and almost 500,000 likes. And the point here is the For You page is all about democratized discovery, and that acts as an incentive for creativity and really leads to a wide range of diverse content. We're not only hearing from the same creators over and over again. And all of this has given birth to a group of storytellers who are really evolving what automotive content looks like today and creating a space that we like to call the authentic digital showroom. And this is a multifaceted environment. We have the traditional types of content that we love and expect from the category, but often with a TikTok twist. So you'll see the fast-paced super edits, all about speed and power, but often our creators will lift the lid and take a little peek behind the scenes into their creative process. Concept cars and supercars are adored here as the community really celebrate what the future of the industry looks like. And feature-led reviews are a massive part of automotive TikTok as well. Often technological features are heroed, and obviously this lends itself really well to a short-form video format. But increasingly, we're seeing a bunch of creators really nail the more holistic 60-second car review, really getting to the crux of what makes a car special and worth buying. And it's amazing the amount of information that can actually be squeezed into that short period of time. Um, it's also a place for brand loyalists to celebrate all different aspects of car cultures and really make their case for their brand. And it's definitely a place where, the automotive tribes of TikTok have a healthy dose of competition amongst them. But our community are also showing up in fresh and unique ways. So for every supercar fan out there, there's also a side to the community who like to poke fun at the notion of flexing and don't take themselves too seriously. And as Jack mentioned, sound is so important to TikTok as well as automotive TikTok. And we're seeing a bunch of creators using that within the context of auto, sometimes to even recontextualize the automotive experience, like this example here.
Jarvis, you there?
At your service, sir.
Gauge heads-up display.
Check.
Four-door preferences from home interface.
Will do so.
And this creativity really extends to the rest of the car as it's increasingly being used as a creative canvas. And I think this is indicative of the shifting role that cars are playing in our lives. So it's long been a trend in China that cars are seen as an extension of the home. And it's a trend that we've seen play out in the West over the course of the pandemic, with many of us seeking refuge in our cars for a quiet Zoom call away from a noisy house. And with so much of our lives playing out in cars today, there's a really interesting opportunity for content creation, whether that's pranks or the latest TikTok transition trend or sharing an intimate moment with friends. And this is a really interesting opportunity for OEMs to natively position their vehicles within the For You page. And then finally, we have new formats springing up, which we think is really exciting.
Are you dude from TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, should I follow you? Roofing and real estate.
Roofing and real estate?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I love the car.
Thanks, bro.
What do you do for a living?
Dude, I love your videos. We were just talking about it.
Dude, I thought, baby. I love the car. What do you do?
Real estate.
Real estate?
Stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And this is brilliantly simple, and it's something that it's a format and an idea that is spread across the platform. We've seen adjacent categories adopting this format and sort of being inspired by this. And that really speaks to the way that things spread through TikTok. And so now that we've explored how the community shows up from a content point of view, in this next section, we'll dig into their mindsets and behaviors. And another really interesting thing to note is they're not necessarily active on other platforms. So here we see the percentage of our unduplicated users. So for example, in the UK, 49% of TikTok users aren't active on Instagram, 35% aren't active on Snapchat. So not only is there an opportunity for brands to speak to a new audience in a new way, there's also an opportunity to speak to a unique audience who you won't necessarily find elsewhere. And it's an audience who are leaned in and hyper engaged. And when we look at the average daily time spent, it puts us well ahead of our digital competitors and only second behind TV. And in the context of automotive, which obviously, the long holy grail of automotive advertising has been television, this is a really interesting trend that we know a lot of OEMs are paying attention to as they're seeing this shift in consumer behavior. And there's also a shift taking place in consumer attitudes. And we think that the TikTok community is at the forefront of that. They're really future thinkers who embrace new technology. So 55% of them would pay more for an eco-friendly product. They are 70% more likely to own an electric vehicle, and 51% are interested in technology. And beyond that, our community show up to TikTok with a discovery mindset. So 88% say that they love discovering new content whilst using the app. And there's a really interesting opportunity here to position your brand in front of a receptive audience who are willing and open to learn. And at TikTok, we also like to think of ourselves as one of the sunnier sides of the internet. And that's been shown to hold true in research, which shows that our users are 17% more likely to feel happy during usage and 2.1 times more likely to feel playful during usage. And I think for OEMs, that is such an exciting opportunity to position their brand in front of consumers when they're feeling those positive emotions and build that type of long-term brand equity that we know is so important.
And as I alluded to earlier, the automotive industry is going through significant change over the last 12 months. Many things that have impacted it. COVID has forced dealerships to close across the UK as OEMs have looked to go online and go digital as people search for cars whilst everyone has been in lockdown. And there's been the emergence of that virtual showroom. Alongside that, electrification has moved from being the buzzword to the only word of the industry. As OEMs commit to a sustainable future, and we say goodbye or start to say goodbye to the combustion engine age. And finally, there's the role of e-commerce to factor in as well. We want to shorten that path to purchase at a time when it's probably more complicated and convoluted than ever. There's a real purpose and reason for consumers to be purchasing cars online. And it's within this changing landscape that we see a real clear role for TikTok to play. It's that authentic digital showroom, a place that inspires, that can inform, and also entertain. And so the opportunities for an OEM on TikTok are hugely exciting. But the question probably arises, how do you actually TikTok? It's often a question I'm asked. Automotive brands to say, well, what's the first phase in coming onto TikTok? How can we do it ourselves? There's probably 4 key things to pull out here. The first is to look at your organic presence on TikTok. Build your brand presence on the platform where you can, create an organic profile. And so you're constantly top of mind. Support this activity with paid peaks so you can own the moment, whether that's a car launch or a big brand awareness campaign. Creators are also your best friend as a brand. They really understand what works on TikTok and what doesn't. So utilize them as much as you can. Use them to create native and authentic content for the platform. And of course, all of this is wrapped up in TikTok's unique creative approach. As we've mentioned, it's sound on, it's immersive, it's engaging. See it as your creative playground. And so here are a couple of examples of which OEMs have done organic really well on TikTok. They've understood about building their brand presence, and they've done it in an entertaining way, from VW to BMW to Mercedes. And obviously recently Lamborghini, who really explored their playful side and been a part of those conversations and those subcultures that are a part of TikTok.
Beyond organic, we have a full suite of ad products that cover all parts of the marketing funnel and all of your marketing objectives, from big brand awareness building moments that really drive home brand impact. So, think of a car launch within the context of this, to consideration driving products that really drive engagement, lead generation, or website traffic building approaches, all the way down to conversion. So think about, booking that crucial test drive or driving offline sales or even online sales, as Jack alluded to earlier. As we know, that's becoming an increasingly hot topic within the industry. And so what does all of that look like? First, we have top view. It's the first thing that you see when you open the app. It's full screen, it's sound on, and it can be booked for an entire market for an entire day. And this is really your opportunity to make a big splash, to announce your campaign to the masses, and it generates a really strong memory response. Next, we have in-feed ads, of which there are many interesting sub-products that we won't explore today, but we'd be happy to follow up with you on. And this is really your chance as an advertiser to natively place your content within the For You feed and target a specific audience with a specific message. Next, we have the hashtag challenge, which is truly unique to TikTok and drives incredible engagement and UGC. And this is really brands' opportunity to harness the creativity of the TikTok community. And finally, we have branded effect, which is our augmented reality offering, and it's really offering our users the opportunity to playfully engage with brands, whether that's 2D or 3D effects or gamified effects. There's so much possibility when it comes to this. And so whilst we have products that cover all parts of the marketing funnel and all of your objectives, today we've decided to focus on 2 objectives. The first of which being reach and awareness, and the second being lead generation. And everyone on this call will know the importance of brand awareness and reach when it comes to automotive, and we're really strongly positioned to deliver on that goal. So we've shown to produce 2 times higher lift when it comes to aided brand awareness, and a 3.7 times higher lift when it comes to brand favorability compared to Kantar norms. We've also just launched our lead generation product, which sits under the in-feed ad umbrella. And this is honestly tailor-made for the automotive industry. It's an opportunity to collect those all-important leads, whether that's to drive a test drive booking or to re-engage with consumers across the complex sales cycle. And we've seen some really exciting initial results from OEMs who have been utilizing this that Jack's going to explore on the next few slides.
So to talk around brand awareness and reach first, BMW wanted to turn up on TikTok in the right way. It was their first campaign and they wanted to create a piece of content that felt native to the platform. It felt unique and utilized the creators that we have on offer. And so we actually used creators who happen to be Team GB athletes, a BMXer and a gymnast. And we highlighted some of the key features of the One Series, as well as bringing to life the creators' passions. And we did it in quite a playful way. And it was great to see BMW embrace the native, authentic format that TikTok offers. And as you can see from the results, it was a really successful campaign. It delivered over 27 million impressions, had a click-through rate of 16.08%, and an ad recall uplift of 10.7%. Clearly showing and demonstrating how successful the campaign was in helping BMW engage with an entirely new audience. And now let's take a look at our lead gen ads. It's one of our most recent ad formats, and the Hyundai were one of the very first brands to test it out. As you can see, the user was driven to a form where they filled in their data, and it drove really impressive results, with a 76% lower CPL than had been forecast and a 37% qualification rate. And finally, we have CRM integration capability, given we know the importance of that for OEMs. But having said all that, it's obviously important to talk around the creative when it comes to TikTok. Given we know it's a different platform, what is it that you can do as an automotive brand, as an OEM, to create the right content? Of course, creating bespoke content is where we want to get to. It's the North Star, but it's not always possible. So what else can you do in the meantime to get you to the right place, to be turning up on TikTok in the right way? So not only do we have bespoke content, but you can also create adapted content and also rely on creators to create content for you. Porsche really understood the sound on environment of TikTok, and they use that really effectively by creating intrigue and excitement, both through the visuals and also the sonic cues that they used. Auto Trader cleverly adapted their TV campaign to fit on TikTok. They use a frame stacking technique, along with their characters breaking the fourth wall as we saw them looking directly at the user, a particular trend we know performs very well on TikTok.
Anne and Mike were looking for a new set of keys to put in the bowl, to keep things fresh. With over 200,000 cars available for home delivery, we'll help you find your perfect match. Auto Trader, Britain's biggest matchmaker.
And finally, Mercedes utilised creators really cleverly. It was for the promotion of their Vision AVTR model as they went about supporting their new profile on TikTok. They used creators who made content that felt quite premium and polished, which matched up with a very premium and polished Vision model.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. She say, do you love me? Hey.
Yo, check this out, man.
Yeah. Gone on you with the pick and roll. Younger flame, he in sicko mode.
This is so crazy. And as we wrap up, we want to leave you with 3 key takeaways. The first is that we have a highly engaged, unique audience who is showing up in unique ways and really redefining what automotive content looks like today. The second is that we have a full suite of ad products that cover all of your marketing objectives and all of the full funnel. And if you'd like to know more about that, then we'd love to talk.
And finally, see TikTok as your creative playground, a sound-on environment which is immersive and engaging and full screen. It's that authentic digital showroom, a place to inspire, inform, and entertain.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We're really excited about the future of automotive TikTok, and we're even more excited about driving that forward with you.